This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at safernet.com.
Hey, welcome to the Digital Desperados podcast featuring dark tales from the web. Patrick McMurphy is here today to tell us our dark tales, and he's joined by Brad Hawkins, founder and CEO of SaferNet. I'm Jim Brangenberg, and I'll serve as your story guide. This podcast, again, brought to you by SaferNet. You know, businesses and families, you need to stay secure, and SaferNet VPN, the cloud-connected cybersecurity app, can help you defend against online threats effortlessly with 84 internet filters. Safeguard your data, your devices, your loved ones. Get peace of mind with SaferNet. Simplify security for everybody. Online at safernet.com. That's safernet.com. Patrick, which dark tale are you telling us about today?
Well, today, Jim, I want to talk about a guy called Roman Seleznev, a.k.a. Track 2, a.k.a. Psycho. This guy has so many aliases, we'd be here all day, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So Roman, he's born in 1984 in Vladivostok in Russia. Roman's father is Valery Seleznev, and so Valery's a very famous Russian politician. He's definitely deputy of the Federal Assembly of Russia, so he's a big fish. Now, this fact is going to complicate his life later on, especially his criminal life. So we do actually know, a lot of time when the hackers we bring on this show, we talk about, we don't know anything about their past. But Roman, we do, just because of his admissions in court. So he had a pretty rough upbringing. 2 years old, his parents divorced. He moves into a tiny apartment with his mother. There's 4 other families living there. So it's really cramped. It's not great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. His mother's out of home the whole time working. So there is a computer that this 5-family apartment they're sharing. And he starts learning how to use the computer. And he's incredibly skilled with it. He gets so skilled that he later says in court that he felt that he could do great things with his life with the computer. He begins studying very hard in school. Roman's idea at this point is that he wants to help his mother. And so he's working toward a degree in computer science and mathematics. Sadly for Roman and his life, he comes home from school one day, age 17, and he finds his mother having passed away. She was an alcoholic, and there was complications from alcohol poisoning. To make matters way worse for Roman, the next day, his uncle visits, and the uncle decides to take all the mother's jewelry, any valuable possessions, and he tells Roman that he must leave the apartment. So this guy's after losing his mother, and then his uncle just took over everything from his life. And so Roman quits school. He has no money. He eventually does find a job, though, at a computer hardware store. So he's making next year no money. But this, as in his own words, this is where his criminal path begins officially.
Brad, go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's interesting is we've had conversations around multiple of these guys that have just stolen and done all kinds of horrible things to people. But you think about what their upbringing was, and there's not many of them that have had a good, loving, caring family that they partnered with, and you think about the destruction that we do to each other just by being mean and horrible to each other. It's just incredible to me, the outcome and the long-term consequences of that behavior.
Yeah, it's just brutal. I can't imagine the next day going, hey, by the way, I'm taking everything that is of value and you're out of here. I mean, that's just crazy.
It's incredible.
To a 17-year-old kid. I mean, he's almost gone anyway.
A 17-year-old kid whose mom just died the day before. And we wonder how come people get twisted. But Brad, SaferNet is there to protect us from, we're going to learn more about this guy, but that's what SaferNet is there to protect us from, guys like this who have this kind of horrible background. Don't you kind of have to think like a criminal or to fight off the criminals? I mean, how does SaferNet do it?
Oh, we have to do these things all the time where we dig into what people are doing and how are they destroying people? How are they stealing from people? And that's where we have to analyze. And we partner with companies all over the world that are saying, hey, we've discovered this here. This is how we're protecting here. And there's quite a network of growing cybersecurity intelligence that helps counter these guys.
Wow, I'm glad you guys are on our side. Back to you, Patrick.
So Roman, he's at work, he's at this hardware place, but he starts stealing customers' credit card information, and he begins selling them on the dark web. He's using something called Carter Planet. Now, this was like Blockbuster of the dark web back in the day. This was the one-stop shop if you wanted to sell or buy credit card information, SSNs, all this thing. This is around 2002. But Roman, he wants to get bigger from here, so he creates a scanning tool along with the help of other hackers. And so this scanning tool, this allows him to scan the web for remote control PCs. So even today, people remote work, they're all using remote control PCs, but PCs that have default or no passwords. So if your password is password or admin, please change your password.
Great. I still can't believe the number of people that don't watch their passwords and know what they're doing. That's like a number one cybersecurity tool.
Yeah. Exactly. And so what Roman is doing at this point, he's looking at going into these remote control PCs. He's finding credit card information, SSNs. He's selling these all of this on. And so he wants to expand again. And so he befriends another hacker and kind of a walk-in marketplace himself. This guy's known as Bad B. And so him and Bad B make another script. And so rather than going looking at these remote PCs individually, this script will scan every single PC, and if it can see financial information, it steals it. So he's basically...
Now, Patrick, can you explain a little detail around what a script is?
Really, it's just a program that's running by itself. You can set it to run. You can do a script to do anything. And I mean, automating things like sending emails, deleting files. It's really just any program you would write, but hackers write them to automate their work. And when I say work, I mean their criminal work, but
it's work.
So it's super easy for them to just pop a script out, and it will go in, and they go take a nap, they go take a drink, whatever it is, and they come back, and all of a sudden there's a computer wide open that they can go in there and snag whatever they want to snag, right?
Exactly. That's it. That's all it takes. Now, don't get me wrong, there's great minds behind writing most of these effective scripts, but yeah, it's getting robots to do their work, which is admirable in a sense.
So, I mean, but that's because he has access to these other PCs because of PC Anywhere in 2002, the PC Anywhere, there was Citrix computers. I mean, they were trying to think of the different software packages that you could remotely access. I mean, because we used it all the time in the early 2000s to get access to other computers.
Yeah.
So is this guy's name Bab with a B, Bab B, or Bad B?
It's Bad B, but yeah, trying to say it fast enough is like a tongue twister. Bad B, Bad B. He almost sounds like Bambi, like the deer from Disney, but
Bad B, what you gonna do when they come for me? Okay, all right.
But so Romans gains even more like dumps of credit card information, and he's selling them to Bad B. And so Bad B is working as a middleman here, a salesman. But Roman and Bad B have a falling out, and so Roman wants to develop his own sales system. He wants to be his own business. Now, this is funny about Roman because he now develops a new nickname called Psycho because he is so hot-headed as a salesman. Imagine being so hot-headed that other cyber criminals start calling you a psycho. Like, you're on a different level there if everyone in the dark web thinks you're a psycho for them. But he becomes very famous in the community because of this. Now, at this point, Roman continues to expand, especially in how he can learn hacking. He writes a lot of his own malware. He spreads that via phishing. He can inject old, updated browsers with the malware. The guy's an expert. He can take anyone's financial information at this point. But the problem here is that his main target are Americans, and this is when the American authorities notice that someone's robbing their citizens.
Dun, dun, dun. We should really have that old what was that show? Dragnet music right there, Brad. It's perfect. All right, when you have a VPN, your internet access.
Now, why'd you say Brad? Is it because I'm the only one here that would be old enough to know what you're talking about?
Moving on to talking about SaferNet. When you have your, I'm not saying anything about your age. The fellow bald guys unite. All right. When you have your VPN, your internet access speeds up substantially. At my company, every day, we are incredibly touched by the speed that SaferNet provides. SaferNet VPN, your ultimate cybersecurity solution. Protect your business and your family with ease. Enjoy the power of a virtual private network, internet controls, virus protection, all in one application, and all on one control panel. Stay safe online wherever you go, including hotels. Check out SaferNet online at safernet.com. That's safernet.com. All right, so he starts playing in the Americans, with Americans, and so all of a sudden he's drawing the attention of people that he shouldn't draw attention of.
Absolutely. And so the Secret Service at this point have built a foil on him. They pin him down to these. And so this is 2009, and the Secret Service contact the FSB and arrange a meeting. And now 2009, this is one of the final times that the FSB and Secret Service are going to go to the table together, because we've been through this 1,000 times. What happens if you tell a FSB that they have a hacker? After
they
the
always
meeting,
hire him. They go back and hire the guy. That's what they
exactly.
do. All right, the FSB. Just tell everybody the FSB. I know it's the Russians, but what's it stand for?
It's I don't know it's virtually their CIA, but it's I don't know how to say it in Russian.
Okay, fine, but it's the Russian CIA. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so after this meeting, Roman seemingly vanishes from the web. All his accounts are closed. He even has a goodbye message to his clients. So he's a good businessman, but he's saying that he's packing it in. So what happened here? So as we know, the FSB tipped him off. Now, this is one of the occasions where he's actually not recruited. And that's more than likely due to the nature of his father's life as a politician. So Roman gets back to work nearly immediately. New alias this time, Track 2 and Bulba. Now, notably, his old friend or old enemy, Bad B, he's in the same business, but he is a competitor. Bad B is tracked down by the US while abroad in 2010, and he's arrested. So Roman has zero competition. Over the next 4...
Wait, how do you suppose that happened?
Who knows? I mean, it's never explained, but, someone tipped someone off, I think, possibly.
Don't tick off your criminal friends. Is that what it is?
Exactly. Yeah. There. It's doggy dog out there on the dark web.
And apparently, Bad B was wearing milk bone underwear.
Exactly. But over the next 4 years, Roman really is the sole controller of the credit card theft market on the dark web. The guy becomes like a Tony Soprano type individual. At this point, he's a multi-millionaire. He's done around $169 million worth of damages to businesses across the US. He does get caught up in one very bizarre incident in 2011. He's on vacation in Marrakesh, Morocco, and he gets injured in a bombing, which is completely unrelated to him, but he almost died in it. Now, due to his father's status, he gets evacuated to Moscow immediately. I think the rest of the Russian tourists just have to wait there a few days. But again, he's making a lot of money, and 2014 is where all goes wrong for Roman. And so Russian authorities call what happened now, they call it a kidnapping, but you'll see. So Roman's on vacation in the Maldives, and he's arrested by US authorities. And the reason that they claim it's a kidnapping is because there's no agreement between the US and the Maldives. Nevertheless, the Americans have negotiated with the Maldivian government basically to arrange all of this occurring. So 2016, there's a trial of 1.5 weeks, so 1.5 weeks. I don't know why you've 0.5 like I'm a robot there, but 1.5 week trial.
1.5 weeks.
But he gets sentenced to 27 years in prison. This is the longest sentence to this day that America have ever given a hacker, ever.
In the US. So he left the Maldives, he went to the US, and then he was sentenced for 27 years.
Exactly. And so what happened here between the arrest and the sentence? So here's where we get into vaguely conspiratorial territory. It's believed that someone or some office within the FSB were strongly opposed to Roman's father's politics. And it's more than likely the case that the FSB tipped off the US about the location arranged the arrest with the promise that Roman will go away for a very long time as some kind of punishment to his father. And so again, look, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy, but in the world of Russian hacking or just Russian espionage, it happens a lot, man. But honestly, look, that's Roman Seleznev. He had a really tough childhood, a very destructive childhood, chased money and crime, and he's serving out the rest of his days in a medium security prison in Atlanta. So that's Roman.
Well, that sounds so much like politics, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened.
I mean, it's incredible what you do when you get on the wrong side of the wrong people.
Exactly.
So I'm always wondering what happens to all this $100 million when these guys go away, and do you have any idea? Does the government take it?
I'm sure the Russians distribute to various charities in Moscow. I'm
charities.
Sure that's where it goes. Yes, charities. Yeah, for sure. A lot of brown envelopes to a lot of charities, if you know what I mean.
I'm thinking charities with specific high authorities' last names. Yeah, that's what you mean by charities.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. As always, Patrick, an incredible story. Brad, any final comments there?
No, when I look at this, I see this opportunity way back when the kid's 17 years old to change not only for this kid but for society, to invest in this kid and train him and put effort towards the benefit of it. And so I look at that saying, how many people do we cross every day that is highly technical, that really understands what it is that they're doing, and can really handle a computer well. And there's people like us that can invest in their life and support them and strengthen them and give them some backbone to be able to stand up and do what's right. I look at that saying, gosh, there's a lot of people in the tech world that has opportunities that they may not even know that they're saving society and saving a kid. And that uncle should be ashamed of himself as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. If you had a kid like this Roman on your staff, Brad, at SaferNet, think about how powerful your software would be then. I mean, when you think that crooked, you could do some pretty powerful things. You could fight crookedness.
Really, any of these guys that, if somebody wants to be bad, they're going to be bad. I mean, I'm not talking about those guys, and those guys need to be locked up and save society. But there's people that are, they're trying to just survive, and they do some stupid things and they get caught into a trap. Those are the ones that I think we could really, really support as a tech world. So.
And if you have anybody like that in your family and you see them teetering on the edge, have them check out safernet.com. That's safernet.com. Maybe Brad can help bring them into the fold. Remember, you heard this story right here. The internet and everything digital can have a dark side with many dark players. It's why you need SaferNet by your side. Online at safernet.com. That's safernet.com. So please, for your own security and the security of those you love and those you work with, don't leave your passwords to be the default password. And also don't answer those questions on Facebook that says, what's your favorite color? Because they're trying to figure out what your passwords are. And get SaferNet at safernet.com. Till the next time, click only on attachments you trust from those you trust and delete the rest, or you may become the next victim of a digital desperado.
This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN. Found online at safernet.com. If it's easy to use, you will use it. What if you had one place to monitor all the internet activity of everyone in your family? Attention, I Work for Him listeners. Safeguard your business and family with SaferNet VPN. We deliver top-notch cybersecurity with a user-friendly approach, protect sensitive data with a virtual private network, and shield loved ones from harmful content with 84 internet filters. Choose SaferNet VPN for peace of mind. Get secured now. Sign up at safernet.com. That's safernet.com.